I have lived in the country of Norway for the last 4 years, and I can tell you there are no polar bears or moose walking the street. There are big misconceptions as to what to expect while living or visiting Norway. I will explain what some expect and a few issues you may encounter while visiting or living in Norway, and also cite why 2 Norwegian cities are the most expensive in the world to live. Most opinions stated are my own and should not be taken as fact. First, let me talk about a few misconceptions. Misconception number 1 is the polar bear myth. Many who have never lived or visited Norway believe the landscape is one big glacier. I thought so myself before moving here. Norway has a few glaciers in the northern tier, where very few people actually live. I personally have never met a Norwegian that has seen a live polar bear outside of a zoo. They don't exist except for in remote areas of northern Norway. I have found that when you ask a native Norwegian this question, most have only seen a live polar bear in a zoo when they visited the United States. Norway only has 3 zoos, and the only captive polar animal is a polar fox. Misconception number 2 is that Norway has night and day. Well, this was a misconception that didn't even come to mind until I had lived here for a full year. In the winter months, there tends to be only 4 to 5 hours of sunlight per day. Most of the time, you only see the glow of the sun behind a thick cloud cover, so it looks like dusk. In the summer, you can have as much as 20 hours per day of sunlight. This tends to inflict havoc on your sleep patterns. You tend to think it is earlier in the day when it is not. An investment in a good set of blackout curtains for all your windows in your home will come in quite handy if you plan to sleep. Now I will explain why a visit to Norway might hurt your pocketbook. I will give you some price examples of just a few basic goods we all use daily. Gas. Well, anyone with a car can tell you the price at the pump continually rises. While I tend to watch news, most major U.S. media outlets, there seems to be a major uproar over gas prices rising to over or between $4 a gallon on average. Well, I can tell you, current gas prices in Norway are over $8 a gallon. After being here for some time, this is an actual discount. Gas prices tend to drop during the summer months here. In the winter, gas prices can go well over $12 a gallon. Most Norwegians use public transportation, and those who do drive have smaller, more fuel-efficient cars. I didn't know gas prices were so high when I moved here and I shipped a large SUV into the country. Another basic good that will hurt you in your pocketbook is food. I won't bore you with the price of a McDonald's Happy Meal, which is $11, but rather give you the price of a food item that we all tend to take for granted. That would be a head of iceberg lettuce. That head of lettuce will cost you $6 and will probably rot before you can eat it all. Eating a healthy salad isn't worth it. Isn't worth the price. That brings me to my next point. Norway is only inhabited by 4 million people, but according to a popular website, they have 2 of the top 10 most expensive cities in the world to live in. They rank among places like Tokyo, Japan, and Zurich, Switzerland. Thanks for listening to me give you my opinion of a few basic issues while visiting, or rather living, in Norway. I explain some common misconceptions about polar bears and daylight. I give you examples of what to expect for basic pricings for basic goods we all use daily. Thank you, and better yet, Tusen Tak, for allowing me to give you my opinion.